Yeah. Welcome back to another episode of Unpopular Honesty, the home of brutal honesty and real hip hop music. I am Cornbread Capone, and today I'm finally sitting down talking to Mr. Short because we've been talking about doing this since we met each other. How are you doing, Mr. Shorts?
I'm blessed by the best. How are you?
I'm all right, man. I'm grinding, working every day. I
Stop.
see you. I see you in the lab. So let's talk about what you're doing in the lab, man.
I try to stay connected to real people, bro.
Yeah, yeah. I see you got a record with I see you got a record with youngster.
With who?
With youngster.
Oh yeah, we just dropped that. Probably November.
Yeah.
Too Red did the beat. Probably like 3-4 months before then. It just came together, brother.
Any other collaborations that you have about to come out or anything about to drop?
I got stuff with K Reno. I did my first one I did when I started off this album was with Lil Kiki and Charlie Boy. I've got stuff with Billy Cook, of course, he's all over it. Devin the Dude. I got a Southern Cypher with a lot of guys from my area, Austin, Texas, letting everybody know that I'm still homegrown right here and loving my people. So, man, and it don't stop. I got a lot of upcoming tracks in the works, trying to get some squared away with Mexican OT on one of my tracks, and talking to Slim Thug about some stuff, man. Well, my manager talking to Slim Thug about some stuff he should have jumped on, but on some new tracks and Gangsta Nip. Murder One's gonna be doing some hooks on some of my new stuff. Murder One, that's my boy, that's my brother from another mother, man. Nothing but love for him.
Shout out to Murder One. You know what I'm saying?
And the whole BC family, can't forget us. Send a shout out to Point Blank, Big Reginald, the Bull, and all the rest of the South Park Coalition. That's my family, man.
Already, man. Do you have an album coming out this year?
Yeah, for sure. Not no dedicated time, but in the mix wise, getting it together, creating. I'm dropping singles on people for until the album's done. Just breaking the album slowly but surely.
Okay. So when you're not making your music, what do you listen to in your car or when you at the house?
I'm old school, man. I'm a 72 baby, man. Man, I go all the way back to the Little Rascals to Ice Cube, Scarface. I go back to Big Daddy Kane, LL. I was just jamming LL's what's the old one he had? The Briscoe Hotel. Just to get that energy and juice back flowing. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Got my Chitty Red Beats in the back, man.
Shout out.
Chitty Red Beats, that was my Terminator back in the day. Now he's the producer, man. So he can come a long way from scratching records, from putting beats together, man.
Yeah, well, since we're talking about the golden era of hip hop, and I asked everybody this question, does Mr. Short have a top 5 best rappers?
Yes, of course.
I would love to hear that.
Okay. Don't kill the messenger. Let's see. My top 5. Mr. Short's top 5. Of course, would be off the top, Rakim. Second, I would put Scarface for his poetic contributions to hip hop with a southern twist to it. KRS-One, K Reno, Big Daddy Kane.
That is a cold top 5. That is a cold top 5. I mean,
but you got to remember my age, man. Hip hop turned 50.
Right.
And I'm 51 of this year.
Right.
So I grew up in hip hop, the essence of hip hop. We are hip hop.
Right. How did you feel about all those tributes, 50-year hip hop tributes that they did? Because I felt like they was inadequate. And
we're not going to get it right the first time. And remember, we're a genre that was supposed to be a fad that was supposed to go away after a little bit. After breakdance went away, we were supposed to be no more.
Right.
And now we're part of marketing tools, and we're everywhere. Leading the industry. And there's no other genre that cannot survive without having the essence of hip hop connected to it.
And that's very true.
You feel me?
I want to ask you about this because you just brought up your age. And only in hip hop do I hear that there's an age limit. Because
in hip hop,
I hear this about rock and roll. I don't hear this about R&B, gospel, any other genre. It seems like some people are led to believe that rap has a certain age limit. And I tend to believe different because the artists of a certain age are not putting out a classic anything. Yet you have artists who are in their late 30s, 40s, and 50s who are still putting out classic material right now. So how do you feel about the ages that exists only in rap music?
It's because how rap music was formed. It was formed by the youth. And no one's expect the youth to grow up. And once the youth has grown up, you got to remember that rap was a gift from God that was sprinkled across the world. So the unfortunate, the people without a voice can have a voice. It started in New York when the essence first touched the earth. So as these children of hip hop grow, people think, hey, man, you need to leave that to the kids and go mind your kids and watch the kids. But we are just now experiencing what it is to raise your children as I'm a hip hop grandfather, passing my hip hop legacy down to my son and maybe to their sons. We're the first generation hip hop to do that.
Right.
Now, you got people like Grandmaster Flash, Melly Mel, the founders of hip hop who have already been grandfathers who are there, and people don't expect them to be youthful with their rap, but rap needs an adult rapper to tell the youthful rappers is where you're going to.
Right.
And what's appropriate and not appropriate when you become a certain age. Now, you can still be a hip-hop artist and rap to your olden days, but your content must grow with you. Right. You can't still have the same message when you was 19 and Public Enemy was saying, fight the power. Now we have other powers to fight. Give those sticks and bats to the youth to do that. And now I can come to your reach and touch the people in Congress and put my suit and tie on and still have a little sag so they can respect me.
Right.
You feel what I'm saying? So I think hip hop needs to grow up as accepting people no matter what age limit they are to produce music, because at the end of the day, it's music. You're an artist. Willie Nelson is 173, you say, and he's still on the road again. You feel what I'm saying? Right. What's the name? Mick Jagger, David Bowie, all of them boys, their skin is right here. You know what I'm saying? They still rocking and rolling, and no one is like saying, hey, man, you're too old to do that. All his colleagues and peers congratulate them. And I think it's going to take another 20 years for us to be accepting of that in rap.
You think so? 20 years?
I think so, because we have, much as we went forward, we're going backwards in music. Right. The message is getting construed and misconstrued, and people are taking the liking to a bad message. Now, I don't have nothing against anybody's music. If I don't like it, I don't play it. You know what I'm saying? Salty Red, I feel like she can do more as a young mother, as for what she want to reach the content, because you got to be careful who you want to. If I was out here talking about pistol play, because I come from the hood, I am a D-boy, I'm a ghetto boy, but I don't want to glorify what I want to tell you. I want to tell the young brothers the consequences of that. So I got to put that in my message and be articulate when I say it. So I got to make sure I'm not glorifying the life. I'm telling you the consequences and ups and downs and pros and cons of it. You feel what I'm saying?
Right. Right. That's what they're not doing today.
And
That's
we
what I call balance.
Yes, and that's why the elders of hip hop should pass that down to the youth. So instead of having a battle about, oh, you young niggas don't know nothing, y'all old cats, and it's a battle between old and young right now when it comes to music, when we should come together and pass the torch, but at the same time, passing knowledge. And the elders must be able to pass the knowledge, and the youth must be able to receive it.
I agree with that, but I try to pass the knowledge as much as I can. But it's a lot of people that are ignorant to knowledge.
Everybody's not going to be saved when Jesus comes, brother.
You're right. You're absolutely correct.
Read so many and read so few. So when Noah built the ark, everybody didn't get on the ark, did he? Only the chosen.
Right.
So don't feel bad for the left behind.
You're exactly correct, man. Because I learned in the last couple of years, and one of the biggest things I take away is, especially with starting this platform, I can't talk to everybody about music.
Yeah, I can dig it.
And I have music in my heart. I've been doing music since I was 9 years old. But I have to realize, I came to realize that I can't talk to everybody about music because everybody does not know about music. Most people that listen to music today, they know about music today. But I can go back and I can tell you about music before I was born. Yes, that's right. Because I studied music.
You have a love for the craft of music. And right. One thing I try to instill in my son will have a debate with me about who's the livest. Say, Dad, Drake is the livest rap artist. And I said, well, to you, but to me, he's not. You know what I'm saying? And it's a matter of opinion. But I feel as an older person, I felt what it was when you first heard I Rule the World for the first time. You know what I'm saying? When you first heard these songs that paved the way for these rappers that are rapping now, the essence of that. And there's a difference. And they're missing it. Like right now, a push of a button can have your music all over the world when we had to jump in the van and city to city and put our posters on poles and go to the radio station and go to the mall and try to pump the show and promote yourself, grassroots type of networking. And that's not happening no more. So people are too busy doing this instead of getting out, talking and connecting with one another. And that's where the essence of communication is broken down there because no one's in each other's face anymore and I can't study how you really feeling about a conversation when I'm on here. That's why there's so many studio gangsters and TikTok fights and stuff because people are feeling safe behind the screen and voicing their opinion when really they're just shooting some bullshit. You know what I'm saying?
I absolutely agree. I mean, being a rapper today is harder than it was in the 90s. In the 90s, it was like a term of endearment. I kind of walked around like I had an S on my chest. I got respect for that. Women love that. But now it's looked at as it's looked at as a negative thing because there's so many negative things attached to rap music, rappers, whether it be what's going on in the news, whether it be the lifestyle they choose to live, the agenda they choose to push with their music. That's why I made a decision that my music will not promote a deadly agenda, a genocidal agenda, a homicidal agenda. I'm not participating in none of that. I have to be a positive example because I have a son that looks up to me and he listens to the music. And I try to be as real as I can, but I also try to put that knowledge in there so that he can understand.
And I take my hat off to you that this being a father that's participating in your child's life and giving them a direction because a lot of that's not happening. And but like I say, man, nowadays when you're trying to make a point in your music, only the negative will be heard. So I'm already came to terms knowing that, hey, my colleague just asked me the other day, hey man, when you gonna put something out, some of that old school rugged man, this and that. But I didn't morphed into an adult, and I got to be responsible, take responsibility for what I put out there.
Right.
And so therefore, you're not going to hear a lot of the old Short Dog, the old Mr. Shorts. You'll hear sprinkles of it, let you know that where I'm connected from, where I'm rooted from. But at the same time, I gotta, clean it up a little bit because I have grandchildren, man. Children. I got sons, I got daughters. You know what I'm saying? So in order for them to respect me like I want them to respect me like the world would respect me. So I got to clean my act up. And I hope a lot of rappers, as they mature, and a lot of them do, because one thing about the biological clock, it's not going to stop. And just like puberty and your hair grows, you can't stop that stuff. And only a damn fool don't grow. You know what I'm saying? So there's a lot of them that's been misinformed. They want to stick to the egos and all that shit. But once you pull your ego off and your pride off, humility is cool, man. Humility is cool. You know what I'm saying? So once you find the passion of passing a good message, man, it's gonna come. It's gonna come like natural, man.
Is there, outside of yourself, is there any other music that you're looking forward to listening to that might come out this year?
That I'm listening to?
Yeah, like let's say an artist you probably been waiting to drop an album, plans to drop an album this year, or something like that.
The new album with SPC's putting out, K Reno's Optical Optics, Point Blank's new jam. The South Park Coalition have remade me a new fan on top of being an old fan. Because in their music, just the last one, Bet on Me with K Reno, man, I love it, man. And just to see it done in live in concert is moving. And there's a lot of other artists that are coming out. I didn't even know LL Cool J had dropped an album. I thought he was working on it. He had different producers on it, but he ended up getting the what's the brother from the Tribe Called Quest?
Q-Tip.
Q-Tip produced his album.
Yeah.
And revelating, man. And I try to go back to all the old cats because that's what we grew up on. We should support one another.
Yeah.
Like the children support their era, we still should support the people we grew up on. So they still have bills to pay. They still are putting out a message that we can relate to. So why not support it?
I do. I still listen to every Nas album that come out.
Yeah.
I was on Killer Mike album that came out last.
Oh man, this album he got right now is this man awesome.
Yeah. He deserved that Grammy. You know what I'm saying? I'm happy that he won it. You know what I'm saying? Because it was a statement. You know what I'm saying? To me, I felt like that album was deserving of that honor, but also when you win a award like that, it sets an example to everybody else.
Yeah.
The game and everybody in the game paid attention because the Grammys is in the music industry is considered the highest honor when given to an artist.
Yeah, and at the end of his walkthrough, he was arrested and handcuffed, still putting a black eye on the situation, even though it was minor to the situation, but it was a major black eye to the look.
And I want to be clear that the Grammys does not really matter in the eyes of hip hop.
That's right.
They never really accepted hip hop from the beginning.
And to me, it was an honor to not to be part of the Grammys because rap to me was so underground in hip hop, it was for us. And by not being part of the Grammys made it feel like it was still ours.
Right. They've always been a step behind. They have never, well, for the exception of giving Killer Mike that award, they've always been like a step behind, or 4 steps behind the culture. So I do want to point that out, you know what I'm saying? Because they're not, in the eyes of hip hop, the Grammys really doesn't matter.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But, man, I appreciate you sitting down, chopping it up with me. We had a great conversation. We got to do some music.
It ain't gonna be last. Hey man, I know Sarah make your beats. You got Cheetah Red over the beats. Sarah had got on Facebook and said, "Hey, I'm tired of making beats. I'm looking for somebody. Cheetah Red is awesome, man. You know, we need to get down there and get connected with the guys in Houston and be a new sound down there because you got Sean Solo, you got Harvey Love, you got so many different producers down there, and everybody need to connect with one another. You know what I'm saying? Because we Texas in the long run, just like New York, they got Brooklyn, Harlem, everybody kicking with everything. They represent New York. And Styles P, a good friend of mine, told me, "Hey, look here, man. Texas is the only state I know that y'all can become millionaires in your own state without going outside of it."
Yeah, because it's that big.
Yeah, and we should take advantage of that. You know what I'm saying? So we need to get back as artists, getting material or making our material tangible so we can touch it, sell it, and get what's worth, because the streams is going to cheat us, beat us, since we're getting away from the signage of getting the industry to sign us and being a part of their puppetry. We need to be, now that the industry is making it where technology is making it where you can own your own rights to your stuff and be your own label and all that. So they came up with the streaming situation. Find a way to kill you on that without signing. So we need to go back to CDs, back to vinyl, USBs, anything we can touch and pump. We should be able to do that and share with one another.
I agree with that, man. I appreciate the game. I appreciate the knowledge. I appreciate the conversation. We definitely have to do this together. And you know, shout out to everybody in Austin. Shout out to the brothers in the studio behind me right now. And on behalf of Mr. Schultz, I am Cornbread Component. This is Unpopular Honesty, the home of brutal honesty and real hip hop music. And to everybody out there, peace and love, because that's what this world needs, man. Peace and love. You know?